Do you accept that?
Yeah.
Sure,
if
that's
you
fine.
accept that and you accept the other 2 points, your case falls apart because we've established it does because we've established it was during the time of the Prophet. So the
You didn't establish that.
We have established that because the classical scholars have done tafsir on this, and there's ijma on this. There's no difference of opinion on this. It's clear. So we've established it was during the time of the Prophet. And we've established the verses abrogated, and we made reference to Surah Baqarah where one verse abrogates the other. So your case is flawed.
All right,
Adam, can I come in, please? Adam, can I come in, please?
Hold on, let me respond.
I want Logic to respond to that.
Yeah. So Adam, listen, brother. Just saying, please. I don't know what it is about when I speak that you guys have this urge to jump in.
Go. Yeah, I was gonna say for you to speak, and I'll come. Go ahead, speak.
Okay. So Adam, you just told me that that he's forgetting it in the time of Muhammad. You didn't prove that to me. You just said that the classical exegetes all say this. You didn't show me that. Nor did you show me the evidence that they're using to place this event, him forgetting in Muhammad's time or before Muhammad dies. You didn't do that. You just said that.
Okay, I'll establish all those points now.
Okay,
give me 2 minutes.
No worries. So not only that, hold on. Not only that, Stone, can you mute up while I'm talking, please?
Yeah, hang on.
Thank you. Can you mute up while I'm talking?
He just said he's going to go look for
Mute your mic. Mute your mic while I'm talking.
Hey, you, this is not your house.
Mute your mic while I'm speaking.
Does this look like your house?
Mute your mic.
Hey, boy, does this look like your house?
Mute your mic, Stone, while I'm speaking, please.
Yo, designer, drop Stone, man. It's not engaging, man. Just drop it.
What's not engaging?
But don't do that. Don't do that, bro. Just engage. Don't attack. Just engage.
Are you crazy? Only he's speaking all the time.
Just engage. You don't have to attack, bro. Don't do that. Don't embarrass us Muslims, bro. Don't do that. That's not right,
up, man. The brother's looking for something. I am now adding to what the brother said. What is wrong with you?
You can add after I'm done talking.
No, shut up.
That's all you gotta do.
But you spoke a lot, so it is our turn.
I didn't even get to speak a lot. I didn't even get to make my point yet. I was responding to Adam, and I didn't even get to finish my point to Adam.
Are you done after you start? You're kind of done, though.
When I speak and I finish my point, I'll be done.
Okay, say you're done.
When you guys interrupt, that's when it seems like I'm talking for a long time. Because you guys can't shut up.
Godlogic, have you got a pen there?
It only takes 2 minutes. Just press that mute button. I'll give you some because Brother Adam, let him address to you. You made good points. So go on, carry on with what Adam said to you.
Yeah, so the classical scholars are unanimous in this.
Adam, please, you have to allow me to finish my response to you, my friend. Please. Everybody keeps interrupting.
Stone, you're next. Stone, you're next. But look, I have to do this otherwise. I can't.
You even switched Adam off.
Okay, no, you're next because you already made the point.
I don't give a damn about next. Adam was asked for sources. Adam is coming now back with the sources.
Oh, okay.
He can give me the source on his turn to speak.
I don't give a damn whose house is.
I know you don't.
How long do you need? So he made 2 points. So have you covered?
I didn't get to cover any yet. The only thing I said was that you didn't establish it.
Like a little girl, bro.
So the longer that you have kids up here interrupting me, the longer my turn will take. Keep letting the kids stay up here. The kids that can't shut up, the kids that have to interrupt. Keep the kids up here.
Well, you're next anyway, Stone. You're next. So just he's nearly finished. Okay.
And just rule how things are said.
Okay, no one's ruling. Okay, you guys made a lot of points.
How long someone speaks?
No, there's 3 of us. There's 4 of us.
Yeah, but no, I don't care if there's 6 of us. But does he dictate how long we speak?
Yeah, and you're done speaking now.
There we go.
To finish what I was saying and responding to you, man.
Okay, Stone, you're next.
The hadith talks about.
You're gonna go next, but I can't have 2 people.
Look,
I'll give you a big screen next.
An impotent child, no control over his emotions.
Right, listen, no remarks. Just carry on, Logic.
All right,
you know who's.
All right.
Talk about your wife.
Yep. Keep it muted. Oh, now he's bringing up my wife. Look at that. Amazing.
Yeah, Stone. Don't attack
Logical.
wait, designer, wait. Okay, he shouldn't be attacking Avery's
Okay,
family. That's not
fine.
right.
I drop. Okay, just leave it. Just move forward. Okay, just carry on with the conversation. Go on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, in referring to the hadith, we all know that it's taking place after Muhammad's death, and he's talking about how. Notice this, guys. He tells the people of Basra to recite the Quran. They come and they recite it, and they do it so well. He's impressed. And he tells them, you recite it well, but make sure that your reciting for a long time does not harden your hearts as it did the people before you. So talking about himself. So he's among that group that used to recite the Quran and recite chapters for a long time, but their hearts were hardened by reciting it for a long time. We used to recite a chapter, as long as Surah Barat. I have, however, been made to forget it. So, except for this portion of it, this is insane to me. He says that their hearts were hardened, which led to them forgetting the chapter, except for the portion he remembers. Not that it was abrogated, guys. It wasn't abrogated. And he still remembers a portion of the verse. What you guys will have to do for me is, one, show me where like it's in the time where Abu Musa is saying, yeah, when Muhammad was alive, we forgot this verse, or in the time of Muhammad, he abrogated this verse. He abrogated the verse.
Godlogic, are you actually sitting down? No, just one moment. Godlogic, are you sitting down?
I'm in the car.
Okay, sit down, because Abu Musab al-Ashri was appointed during the lifetime of the Prophet. Your case is over, my friend. You just step down.
Can you show us that?
It's known facts.
No, it's not. He was appointed in Umar's time.
I will give you the evidence for that. Just one moment.
Okay, Umar is the one who appointed him, al-Ashari, over Basra. It wasn't until Umar's time that Basra was conquered, after Muhammad's death. What do you mean? Guys,
okay,
I always gotta teach Islam and then refute it.
Okay, so the argument is, like I said to you, whether it was at the time or after the time of the Prophet, the main thing is, I told you, the abrogation mainly happens with ruling and certain things we use for jurisprudence. But whatever you read in this hadith, is it to do with a ruling or a Islamic jurisprudence? For example, if they were drinking, then Allah would reveal a verse saying, do not drink, like a direct command. So what you have in this hadith is nothing of this kind of nature.
Okay, so are you saying
yes,
that only rulings and laws get abrogated?
Yes. They are what mainly gets abrogated. Yes.
Okay, so if only laws and rulings get abrogated,
mainly,
and this verse that he remembers has nothing to do with ruling or law, then therefore it's not abrogated, right?
Yeah, so it doesn't make any difference.
So if it's not abrogated, it should still be in your Quran.
No, if it's not abrogated, meaning that he can just remember it, but it doesn't have to be in the Quran.
But if it's not in the Quran, then that's a form of abrogation, right? That's abrogation of the text, right?
No, he just forgot these verses, so it was just made to forget, so not to insert it in the Quran. It doesn't even have to go inside the Quran as abrogation.
They were already in the Quran, bro.
We've established a number of fundamentals that you can't overcome, which means that you can't advance your claim now.
Yes.
No, you just said things. You didn't establish anything.
You've been checkmated.
How? What?
Adam, can I speak to you?
Adam, we checkmated him in many points, but he doesn't seem
on what point? On what point, designer, did you checkmate me?
Listen, I've seen
if you get a pen and paper, I'll make a list.
I've seen what you've been doing when you've been hosting. So I have been like, even yesterday I was listening, but no one makes these points. Look, I'm gonna rise. Abu Nuri is gonna cook you again. Yeah, He's the only
sure.
one mainly. Yeah, let me get him. Yeah, he's gonna lace you big time here.
So you need Abu Nuri's help now again.
No, he's
Abu
good
Nuri's
to have
gonna get you in trouble.
Assalamu alaikum, akhi.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Yeah,
and why is this guy still running around with this goofy argument? I just busted him yesterday.
Logic, why did you drop him yesterday when he couldn't handle it? And you just keep layman's that you can just bully on your panel.
Were you there in that live when he dropped me?
We brought you back and we brought you up. And
don't say we. You didn't.
Yeah, no, I was in Creed.
I am the
other brothers live.
So okay, so you saw when he dropped me when he couldn't handle me, right?
No, you guys had your own little internal issues, but anyway.
But did you see him quote his source and then drop me? So I couldn't respond. Did you see that?
Hey, did I bring you back up and we talked?
No, you didn't. You didn't bring me back up.
I did when you came back up and we talked for a whole 15 minutes.
We can carry on
another live.
Okay, look, let's get to the bottom of all this. Leave all the personal remarks and attacks. Let's get to the bottom of this.
I'm asking you, designer, because you said I dropped him because I couldn't handle him.
Okay,
did you see the live before when he dropped me to stop me from responding to his argument? Did you see that?
Well, I saw a bit of everything, so I'm just
anyway. Let's just get on with this point.
I just want to see if he'll be consistent. So will you then say that he dropped me because he couldn't handle me? Will you say that?
Well, okay, it's like for like, you guys are. So
there you go. Okay, good.
Let's keep it equal. So now, like I said, and let's agree. Look, he has good understanding of the our religion. So, brother Abu Nuri, my point I'm making to him is that the verses that we have in the hadith is not ruling, it's not jurisprudence. So even if it is there and he was made to forget, that it is not the foundation of the Quran. So this is why him forgetting, it doesn't make much of a big, very huge difference to us.
Yeah, the issue that he's having is a category issue, and he's doing it purposefully.
Yeah.
So that I asked him the same question that he's saying I was so scared to hear his response to. So here I don't have any mod logic. I can't mute you. I can't drop you. Here's your chance to, I guess the chance that you were deprived of yesterday. Here's your chance. You admitted that the hadith says that we used to recite a surah, correct?
That's what it says.
Okay. So used to means that they don't anymore. The hadith says that he, i.e. Abu Musa, was the one who forgot it. So if we is the companions, which you agreed to yesterday, what does it mean when all of the companions or most of them used to recite a surah and all of them or most of them do not recite it anymore? What does that mean?
It means they forgot it and your Quran's corrupted.
So you're saying that every single companion just forgot the same exact surah.
That's what it seems. That's what Abu Musa is talking about. Because notice this. He says, notice what he says. He says in the context, he doesn't say, "Oh, we used to recite it, but we don't anymore because it was abrogated." That's not the reason why they stopped reciting it. The reason that they stopped reciting it is because they forgot it over time. And so we see that in the context, he says, do not allow your reciting of the Quran to the people of Basra, the good reciters. Do not allow your reciting of the Quran for a long time harden your hearts. How does reciting the Quran for a long time harden one's heart?
It's neither here nor there.
No, it is very here and there. How does that harden your heart? Because
no problem. When you recite the Quran for long periods of time, but you don't act on it, it becomes something that hardens the heart.
That's not what he said.
That's the issue.
Yeah, that is the context logic that we have to practice what we.
Oh, it's not.
It is the kind. Do you have some other context within this hadith logic?
Yes, the context is forgetfulness. Being cocky, and then they end up forgetting what they've been reciting. Where in the context?
Hold on, Logic. It's still my turn, bro. Come on, man. You just
there's not a turn. We're talking.
Yeah, but I don't want to just be preached at. Like you're just saying stuff. Can I respond, bro?
Yeah, of course. But we're talking. What are you talking about?
Okay, although you're talking, I'll just put a timer just so you know that it's that person's turn. But I'll just give it to Abu Nuri. Then I'll give it to you. But when you're done, just say I'm done.
He doesn't need 2 minutes to say what he had to say.
Yeah, don't worry, Logic. I won't go for the whole 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So the issue here is you keep inserting things into this hadith to suit your desires. You keep inserting your desires into the hadith, things that aren't present in it. It doesn't say that they became cocky. This is from your butt cheeks. You pulled this out of nowhere. It doesn't say they became cocky. We know, because we understand the religion of Islam, that those who recite the Quran, they practice that which they do not do. This is a means for the heart to be hardened. You can find this in our literature. So to suggest that the reason that their hearts were hardened is because they became cocky is just ignorant, number one. Number two, let's not forget that Uthman ibn Affan was one of the memorizers of the Quran. He is one that was guaranteed paradise, sir. Uthman ibn Affan, the peer amongst the companions, the one who became the third caliph, he was one of these people that was still living. To imply, for instance, that his heart was hardened is just folly on your behalf. This isn't a statement of the messenger of Allah. This is just another companion. So the issue that we're having here is that you're just pulling stuff out of nowhere and asserting into the hadith. And I'll land with this. Once again, it says we used to recite, which means we, the companions as a whole, don't recite it. To try to use some type of reaching gymnastics to say each one of the companions each forgot this exact surah, all thousands of them forgot this exact surah just by happenstance is just a goofy position. I'll land my plane with that.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Yeah, a lot of assumptions here. Number one, you said that Uthman was one of the memorizers of the Quran. I would like to see a source that says that. Not denying it. I would like to see, because I haven't seen this myself. Because we see that Uthman needed help to make the Quran into a perfect copy. If he memorized it, then he wouldn't really need any help to do that, right? So I would like to see.
Yeah, but even regardless, this is a big thing that is happening.
Secondly, let's even grant, please.
All right.
Secondly, let's even grant that I'm gonna grant you that Uthman was one of the ones that's granted paradise. That does not mean that his heart couldn't have been hardened in one way or another, or that the hardening of hearts means that a person is deemed for hell. It's not. That's you got to demonstrate that that's what that means. No, you can have your heart hardened in one way. It doesn't mean that you're hell-bound in another. Like what? So when he says that the companions, he's talking about the companions and how their hearts were hardened. And what is the context here? The context is in reciting the Quran. It says, do not let your reciting it for a long time harden your hearts like it did. What did? Reciting the Quran for a long time. Reciting the Quran for a long time is what hardened the hearts of the people before the people of the land of Basra. So what does this mean? So what does he mean by, harden your hearts? What's the very next thing he says in relation to the hardening of hearts? He goes on to say, we used to recite a chapter that's as long and as severe as chapter 9, except I was made to forget. I was made to forget except for this portion. So what is the hardening of heart? What is it? It's forgetfulness in the context. There's nothing in the context that suggests otherwise. So you're saying that I'm pulling stuff out of my but to fit my narrative. The only one that's doing that is you. I'm just reading the hadith. I'm just reading it with reading comprehension. To say otherwise, that's a goofy interpretation.
Mm-hmm. Are you finished?
Yeah.
It sounds like he's finished. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so here's the issue, man. So we have authentic hadith from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where he told the companions how to recite the Quran in the time links. So the shortest period of time I want to say was what was the shortest period of time? It was either 3 days or 7 days, not to recite the Quran in longer periods than that. So the way that the Quran was recited, the length of its recitation comes directly from the Messenger of Allah. This is why people like you who have no idea about the usul of the deen or the mustala of the hadith have no business speaking on it. Their recitation of the Quran comes directly from the Messenger of Allah, who gave a direct command. He said, do not recite the Quran in a shorter period than this. So let's say that it was 7 days, as I believe that it was. If we cannot recite the Quran in a shorter period than 7 days, then how are we going to be reciting the Quran for a period, and the recitation, the length of it is going to harden our hearts, where we're reciting it appropriately to how the Messenger of Allah told us to recite it. Don't recite the Quran in less than et cetera amount of days, number one. Number two, to say that the more you repeat something, the more repetition you have, the more likely you are to forget it, is just ignorant as hell. In what world is that the case? The more I do something, the more likely I am to forget it. The more likely the more I recite this Quran, the more likely I am to forget it. This only exists in Goofy Logic's imagination, bro. Imagine that every day I go to work and I do the same thing for 20 years, and the more I do it, the more I forget it. That sounds dumb.
Yeah, the more you do, the more you become an expert on something, yes.
That's what you would think, but according to Logic's paradigm, or maybe he just thinks that the Muslims are backwards, the more we do a thing, the more easy it becomes to forget, to the point where every companion on earth forgot the same chapter of the Quran just by accident. Logic, you sound like you've got a tinfoil hat on right now, bro. This is a goofy conspiracy theory. All of the companions forgot the same chapter of the Quran.
That's longer than 2 minutes now.
Oh, I'm not looking at the time, brother. Go ahead. I'm done.
Okay. So you called me Goofy Logic, and so to bring the insults, it shows that your position is weak. That's weak rhetoric, man, because you're not dealing with the argument. Notice, you're saying that my position is goofy, but this isn't my position. This is what the people you look up to, your scholar, Abu Musa, the companion of your prophet, this is what he says. So if you want to call Abu Musa goofy, fine, call him goofy. But this is his reasoning, not mine. So when Abu Musa says, ladies and gentlemen, hey, make sure that reciting the Quran for a long time doesn't harden your hearts like it did the people before you, because we used to recite a chapter as long as chapter 9. However, I was caused to forget it. That's his reasoning, not mine. So I guess Abu Musa, this isn't me, ladies and gentlemen. So Muslims, don't get offended by what I'm saying. I'm just repeating Abu Nouri's logic. I'm repeating Abu Nouri's logic in regards to this argument. Abu Musa is goofy for saying that reciting the hold on.
You have to use other words.
Let him finish.
Come on, man. Let me get it. No, this is his words, not mine. This is his words.
Let him finish.
This is his words. Abu Musa, according to Abu Nouri, Abu Musa is goofy for saying that reciting the Quran for a long time can harden their hearts, and relating that to him forgetting what they used to recite. Notice, he says we used to recite the chapter that's as long as chapter 9. However, I was caused to forget it except for this portion. So he remembers a portion of it and links this with it in context. You don't have any other context showing otherwise. That's number one. Number two, I don't care how long they used to recite the Quran for amount of days. Who cares? Show me that doesn't mean that everybody remembers it, number one. And two, show me where Uthman was a memorizer of the Quran.
All right, that's your time. All right, so no problem. I'll wait for my time to get up. I don't want him to cry. All right, cool. All right, so I love how every time I talk to one of these Christian apologists, they always try to find a way to take your words and to take them out of context. They always try to way to flip the position somehow to make somebody sound as they're saying something that they're not. So let me clarify for the person that I'm speaking to, because obviously we can't have a genuine conversation. You've taken what Abu Musa said and you have interpreted in a way, and your interpretation of what Abu Musa said is goofy as hell. Abu Musa said what he said. Your understanding of what he has said is goofy. Your understanding that because we recited a surah for long periods of time, the reason that we all forgot it at the same exact time, like magic, is because we recited it for a long amount of time. This understanding of what he's saying is dumb. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Because if that's the case, why in the hell do we still have Surah Tawbah, man? We used to recite a surah like Surah Tawbah. We forgot it because it's a long surah. But Surah Tawbah didn't get forgotten, though. And we recite Surah Tawbah. We still have it. If the length of the surah is the problem and the recitation of it and the length of its recitation is the problem, why the hell do we still have Surah Baqarah, the longest chapter in the Quran, that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said we should recite daily?
Yes.
We recite the longest chapter in the Quran daily. Why didn't we forget Surah Baqarah? If your logic stands, it doesn't stand, and it's goofy. Your interpretation of what the Sheikh said is goofy. You need to substantiate this understanding, and I'll land with this in the quote from the book of Imam Sayyuti, and everybody's running around with the book that affirms the Quran is preserved and using it to say that it's not. He says and demonstrates why it's an abrogation.
Okay, this is getting sad, Abu Nori. You sound a little upset. I don't know why. This, ladies and gentlemen, is just a lack of reading comprehension from our friend Abu Nori. Did any of you guys hear me say at all that the length of the surah is the problem? Did anybody hear me say that? Y'all just let us know in the comment section. Did I say that? Oh yeah, they forgot the surah because it was as long as Surah 9, so it was too long, so therefore they forgot it. Is that what I said, guys? No, it's not what I said.
You did
so Abu Nori, please. So Abu Nori comes with this really passionate, angry energy, arguing against a straw man. Nobody said that, dude. Pay attention, lock in. That's not the argument. Nor did I say Abu Musa said that. I said, and I repeat, because the only thing I'm doing is reading what Abu Musa said. He said to the people, he brought them over to recite the Quran, the people of the land of Basra. They came in and recited it. They were 300 in number. He said, your reciting is good, but do not, bear in mind, do not allow your reciting it for a long time harden your hearts as it did the people from before you. So what's hardening their hearts? Possibly reciting the Quran for a long time. That's what can harden their hearts. And what does he relate this to? He says, we used to recite a surah as long as chapter 9. However, I was caused to forget it except for this portion. So again, by your logic, Abu Musa's goofy for relating forgetting to hardening the hearts because of reciting the Quran for a long time. And again, I ask, where is Uthman named as a memorizer of the Quran? Still haven't gotten that.
But he gave you the context already, but you just repeated. So he already told you.
Hey, real fast, just real quick, while it's still hot, while everybody's still soaking in what he just said, let me add my response. Because maybe our friend here is the one with listening comprehension skills.
He put his time up?
I did, yeah. Put time up because I don't want him to cry.
Let's just have an open chat, me, you, and him for a minute. Then I'll give you a timer again.
I don't want him to go too long.
Hold on. Yeah, real fast. Let me get my response in, and then let's do that, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Yeah, go on, brother. It's your turn, Abu Nuri. Go on.
All right, just make sure the time's up, please, if you don't mind, because I don't want him cry.
Okay, you want a time? Okay.
Yeah, because he's gonna cry. All right, cool. All right, I won't use all of the 2 minutes either. Everybody, please pay attention to what this man is saying. So all you Christians down there literally just repeating what he's saying, stop glazing and listen for once in your lives for the sake of your soul. I said the length of recitation, not the length of the surah. I said the length of recitation. What does that mean for everybody with a brain? That means how long are we reciting it for? Reciting a surah for a long period of time. The length of the recitation of the surah. What part of that did you not understand? You're saying that it's not the length of the surah per se, but reciting for long periods of time, i.e., the length of the recitation. Once again, we recite the longest chapter in the Quran daily. The longest chapter that has a longer length of recitation. It would take me longer to recite Surah Al-Baqarah than it would to recite Surah At-Tawbah. It would take longer because it's a longer chapter. You're saying because people recite it for a long period of time, they forgot the Quran because they were reciting long recitations. That's incoherent because, once again, we recite the longest chapter, which would take the longest time to recite every day. And I'll land with this. You still haven't answered the question. How is it possible, like damn magic, everybody just happened to forget the same chapter at the same exact time? The same chapter, like magic. If it's not abrogation, I'll land my plane there.
Okay. So you flip-flopped. At first you said that you wasn't saying what I said you said, and then repeated what you said that you said you wasn't saying. You just acknowledged that you're going over, that you're talking about reciting a surah for a long time, the length of the recitation, as long as it is, as long as it takes to recite it. So you are talking about how long the chapter is. But that's not what my argument was, nor did I say that that's what Abu Musa is saying. So look at what you're doing. You're flip-flopping, man. He said that they were reciting the Quran. And he says that do not allow your reciting it, meaning the Quran, for a long time to harden your hearts like it did the people before. The problem isn't the length of the surah. No one's arguing that. But you, for some reason, are acting like I'm arguing that. No one is arguing
it's the length of the recitation
of the surah. Reciting the Quran for a long time, Abu Noor.
So the length of the hold on, because I'm not trying to interrupt him. I just want to get that clarifier. So we are talking about the length of the recitation, right?
We're talking about reciting the Quran for a long time, like reciting the Quran over a long period of time.
Right. So if I'm trying to clarify. I'm not trying to interrupt.
But Logic, you're trying to slide it now. But in your arguments, you do always talk.
I'm trying to slide what? I'm trying to slide. I'm trying to slide
29. You always did mention about the length of the verses. You know that was 120.
Yeah, in context of how long the chapter is that you forgot.
You always highlight this as well. So that is one of your points in your arguments that you always.
Wait, I gotta correct him because
I was trying to clarify
I know, but he just misrepresented me.
Okay, can we clarify and then you address that? I'm not making my own point. I'm just literally a clarification.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, so we are talking about the length of the recitation, i.e., how long you are reciting for, correct?
Reciting the Quran for, yes, not necessarily the length of a chapter.
Right,
so,
which would be linked to the length of a chapter, right? Because if I'm reciting,
not necessarily, no.
Generally, if I'm reciting 3 verses, I'm not going to be reciting for as long of a time as if I'm reciting 285 verses, correct?
Of course, but that's not what he's talking about. He's talking about reciting the Quran itself for a long time. So you could be reciting one of the longer chapters. You could be reciting one of the shorter chapters. Reciting the Quran for a long time.
But you pinned it to a longer chapter. You pinned it. It's the severity of a surah like Tawbah, correct? Your interpretation.
No, bro.
I'm just clear. I'm not arguing with you. I'm trying to clarify.
I know. I just said no to what you asked.
Allow me to ask this, and then I'll be quiet. So you linking it to the amount of time you're spending reciting the Quran, and Abu Musa has specified that this surah used to be the likeness of a longer surah, correct?
The particular surah, correct, but not the one that they're reciting. You understand? They're not reciting. They're not reciting the same surah that he's talking about that he forgot.
Huh?
Okay, so he says they come. They're reciting the Quran.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got you. Now I understand what you mean. You're talking about the reciters in Basra. Okay, I got you, because this has been forgotten. We're saying abrogated, but you don't want to concede that. No problem. I'm saying that what they were caused to forget, i.e. the companions, was a longer surah that apparently they spent long amount of times reciting, generally probably because it was a longer surah, correct?
Well, no, not because it's a longer surah. They just recited it for a long time. That's all.
Explain what you mean.
So
you mean like I got just very quickly. You mean they slowed their recitation? Were they slowing it down?
Can I just answer you in full so you can understand, Abu Noor? You're saying you're asking all these clarifying questions, but you're not. Let me just talk to you. Okay? So imagine if I am reciting, let's say Surah Ikhlas. That's only 4 verses, right? If I recite, how long have you been a Muslim?
Almost 10 years.
How long have you been reciting that surah?
Almost 10 years.
Would you consider that that's reciting it for a long time?
Yeah.
Yeah, in one aspect, yeah.
Right. It's because you spent a lot of years or a lot of time reciting the surah. So it has nothing to do with how long the surah is. It's the time that you are, reciting it throughout your lifetime, throughout your tenure as a Muslim. So he says they came to him reciting the Quran. We don't know what verses or chapters they was reciting, multiple, who knows, right? But they would come reciting the Quran. And he says, make sure that you reciting it, i.e. the Quran, for a long time does not harden your hearts. Has nothing to do with the length of one of the chapters.
It's about the time frame in which they're reciting it. 20 years, 50 years, etc.
Yes.
Okay. So you're saying because they were reciting it for long time frames, this is why they forgot it.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that.
Then what are we talking about?
Doing that hardened their hearts of the people before them, and hardened their hearts to the point where this is why I asked, what does hardening the hearts mean? Because Abu Musa links reciting the Quran for a long time and it hardening their hearts somehow. Maybe they got cocky of it, and who knows what that means. And therefore, they forgot the verse. They forgot the Quran verses.
But does it make sense?
That's him.
Brother Abu Nuri made the point.
Musa.
Look, the more you practice something, the better you become at it. So the more your argument doesn't make sense. So if I keep reading something, I'm gonna memorize it. Does it mean that if I keep reading repetitive, that's the whole point that they memorize the Quran. That the more you read, the more you're gonna forget.
I'm trying to be as charitable here as I can, because if I'm trying to understand this, because I don't think that Abu Musa is just blowing smoke. If I'm being charitable and understanding this, I'm gonna say I would say that Abu Musa, when he says that they recited it for a long time, and yet we used to recite the surah, but it hardened their hearts, and they used to recite, and he gives an example of this where they used to recite a surah as long as chapter 9, but he was caused to forget. What that looks like to me is that they used to recite it so much, and they got cocky in their recitation, that maybe they didn't think that they needed to recite it anymore, because they memorized and they practiced it all the time to the point where they forgot it. That's what would make sense to me.
That's fine. Look, another point is the Quran just based on these chapters, but the Quran is vast, so it's good to learn other surahs and repeat the other ones more as well, right? Instead of just, you might have one surah. If you keep repeating that surah, you're not going to learn rest of the other Quran, the rest of the Quran, are you?
Right.
You understand, Logic?
It's possible they focused on other things and forgot this.
But very quickly, the issue is that there's so many factors and variables here that this is just becomes speculation. Because once again, we have people that are reciting the Quran in its totality in a month's time. We have people that are reciting it in 7 days' time, reciting it in its totality.
Yes.
So it's not like people are saying, well, I'm not going to recite this surah today, and then they forget for 3 years, and boom, they forgot it. To say that this is the case of every single companion, this is kind of just outrageous when we have narrations from them saying, I recite the Quran, I finish the Quran every day in the 7th day period. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, radiyallahu an, compiled the Quran within 2 years of the death of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. How many children were reciting this Quran that were probably under the age of 18, reciting this Quran? Were they reciting it for years on end as well, and their hearts became hardened too? It says we used to, meaning they as a group don't. But it says Abu Musa specifically forgot. You have to deal with, if your claim is everybody just forgot the same chapter at the same time, by happenstance, by coincidence, the same chapter, you have to substantiate why every one of them happened to forget it.
Yeah,
the same chapter.
Yeah, I actually don't. Now, notice this. I'm not saying that everybody woke up one day and then poof, everybody forgot at the same time. That's not what I'm saying at all. Okay? What seems to me very clearly is that this happens over a period of time. Forgetfulness happens over a period of time. Or if one person forgets and then another, it happens over time, right? Over a few years, so, or months, whatever, however long it takes. But I never made the argument that they all forgot in the same night, same day. I never made that argument. But eventually they forgot it. Okay. And so with them forgetting, due to whether lack of they got cocky and stopped reciting it, and then because they stopped reciting it, they forgot it. Whatever it is, Abu Musa says their hearts were hardened and they were caused to forget because they were reciting the Quran for a long time.
So the issue is that if you concede that point, that it wasn't some magical event where everyone forgot at the same time, then it becomes incoherent to say everyone forgot. Because, for instance, if I alone woke up this morning, me alone, I forgot the chapter, then it's too easy to go next door, knock, knock. Hey, such and such, I forgot chapter such and such. Can you recite it to me? Yeah, no problem. If everybody didn't forget it at once, and we know that the people recite the Quran in the masjid 5 times a day, we know that the people read the Quran in the halaqah every day, we know that the Quran is being recited and completed every 7 days, 8 days, all the way to 30 days. It's incoherent if we didn't all forget it at once, that I could forget something, you forget it, and we just go down the line until everybody's forgot it and nobody's reminded each other of it. This is from the usul of the religion. That becomes incoherent. The only way this argument stands is if everybody forgot it at once and nobody can remind each other of it. And we still have to deal with the fact that Abu Bakr as-Siddiq compiled the Quran in its totality in less than 2 years after the death of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, with the help and aid of Zayd ibn Thabit, and them going and grabbing all the Quranic materials and being able to substantiate the Quran, not only with the 2 witnesses for every verse, but also with something written, some type of written codex, whether it's on fur or skin or however. The fact that it was compiled within 2 years of the death of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we have the memorizers of the Quran, because remember the hadith that you all like to quote, the memorizers of the Quran are dying off. There are memorizers of the Quran in existence while the Mus'haf of Abu Bakr is being compiled. This argument falls flat on its face. You have to show how everybody lost this chapter at the same time. If that's not the case, it's incoherent.
Okay. So you're right that there were memorizers of the Quran during the compilation of Abu Bakr's Quran. My question is this really quick, Abu Noor. Did all of those so-called memorizers of the Quran memorize the entire Quran from front to back?
Yeah, we have a list of memorizers who memorize the Quran from front to back.
Yeah.
Okay. So all of them memorized the Quran from front to back, every last one of them.
Every single companion, no.
Okay, I'm talking about the Qur'an.
Yeah, but we had
many of them memorized the totality of the Quran.
And did some only memorize like chunks or parts?
That's fine.
Okay, so and they were still considered Qur'an?
They were considered Qur'an, yeah, sure.
Right. So the Qur'an did not all of them memorized the Quran all together, front to back, but they were memorizers of portions of the Quran, chunks of the Quran. Maybe you had a few that memorized it front to back, who knows? This is why I asked this, because in that hadith that you brought up, when Zayd went out finally collecting the Quran, there was one passage of the Quran he could not find with anybody else except one person. He finally found it with one person who memorized it. I forget the guy's name, but that's neither here nor there. The point is that being a companion doesn't mean that you automatically remember everything of the Quran, nor does even being considered a memorizer of the Quran mean that you memorize all of the Quran. You could be a memorizer of chunks of it, parts of it, a lot of it, right? So now when Abu Musa is saying that we used to recite a surah as long as chapter 9, this particular surah, when he says we, that doesn't entail all of the companions, like every single one of the companions memorized this chapter, or even a huge, large chunk. It could have been a few of them, a little group of them that memorized this chapter or used to recite this chapter, right? Or people used to recite this chapter but not memorize it, let's say. and there were some memorizers of it. And so I'm not saying that there was some universal cataclysmic, if that's a word, event where all the companions memorized this surah and suddenly, poof, everybody forgot it in the same day. No, I don't think that that's what took place, nor do I think that that's what has to happen in order for the argument to stand. No, all I need, besides a beat that's super dumping, is for what Abu Musa is saying, that there's a group of them that used to recite the surah. He forgot it, which we can assume that the group that he's talking about also forgot it as well, at some point, you know, and they can't find it with anybody else except for this portion that he remembers.
No problem. Did you know that Ali ibn Abi Talib was a memorizer of the Quran? Just a quick question.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
The whole thing?
Yeah, the whole thing.
Okay.
He's in some of the isnad for the qira'ats that we have today. But anyways, here's what's relevant to this is why the argument falls and why the beat that you're talking about isn't super dumping. That's on trash for real. It's because you're bringing us this statement of Abu Musa, someone who is a believer in Allah and His Messenger, someone who is a reciter and a believer in the Quran, and saying that the Quran is corrupted by virtue of his statement, which will make him kafir, by the way. Anybody who says the Quran is corrupted is a kafir, and we didn't see nobody slinging their swords at Abu Musa during this statement. So obviously they didn't understand what you're saying the way that they understand what he's saying. Yeah, anybody who says the Quran is anybody who says the Quran is corrupted is kafir.
Yep.
Brother, I'm not even
hold on. I got you. We're not arguing theology right now. I'm just putting this out there for the audience. That anybody who says the Quran is corrupted is kafir, and nobody slung their sword at Abu Musa. So obviously his understanding wasn't that the Quran was corrupted. But back to the main point at hand, you've already conceded the argument. If you say that no, they did all not just happen to have a cataclysmic forgetful spell in one night, then it's incoherent that the chapter would have been lost. You agreed yesterday that when we said who is the we, when Abu Musa says we used to recite, you agreed yesterday on Candy Camera that this was the companions in a general sense, because we didn't specify it. You didn't say 4 or 5 companions. When Abu Musa saying we, he's talking about him and, you know, another companion or two. He's saying we. This is left general, so we should leave it general and say that he's generally talking about the companions. We used to recite. And you've now agreed and conceded your argument that when it says we used to and now we don't, it's not because we all forgot it. I might have forgot it, but somebody else would have remembered it. And it was compiled within 2 years of the death of the prophet. So now your argument just got even narrower, because now you have to say that everybody forgot it within 2 years of the death of the prophet before it was compiled. Your argument just went from being kind of wide to very narrow. Now we've narrowed you down. Yeah. Is your argument, and I'll ask you, instead of quote unquote straw manning you, I'll just ask you.
You just straw manned me just now.
Which is why I'm going to go ahead and ask you so you can defend your stance and me not just straw man you. Maybe I straw manned you, but I'm not just going to do that. I'm going to allow you to defend your own argument. Is your argument that everybody forgot the Quran within 2 years of it being compiled?
Okay. So my argument is that the companions who memorized this chapter forgot it by the time of the reign of Umar and Abu Musa being named al-Ash'ari over the land of Basra. That's my argument. Okay? That's number one. Number two, you said that I conceded my argument, which is crazy. Dude, you're showing you're not understanding my argument, Abu-Noor. And so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say this because I'm about to go inside and chill. I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna listen to your response, and then we can wrap this up. Okay? That cool?
That's fine.
Okay. So listen, this is what I am extracting from the hadith. The hadith talks about how Abu Musa and whoever he was with, the people from before the people of Basra, used to recite this chapter and they forgot it. I am not going to, he doesn't say this happened poof overnight. So it seems like to me with forgetfulness, with especially multiple people, it happened over time, which is why like even this is taking place within like 5 years of the death of the Prophet, I believe, a few years after Abu Bakr's death, and in the time of Umar's reign. So you said I conceded my argument, which is crazy to me, because I literally said when Abu Musa says we used to recite this chapter, and then he finishes it with, however, I forgot this except for this portion. I literally said when he says I forgot, he's still representing the group that he was just talking about. That it's not just him who forgot, but others also forgot this chapter up to this time.
Roughly how many? Big number, a very big number.
I don't know. I have no idea. No clue.
Can you roughly?
No clue at all. Yeah. No clue. Hadith doesn't say. I ain't gonna. Okay. I don't know. Okay.
Yes, doesn't even give a range. It's not very many. It's only a few.
We don't know. We don't know how many it was. Could have been a lot. Could have been a group. A little few, handful. Who knows? Okay. The point of the matter is that they know that there was a chapter as long as chapter 9 that used to be part of the Quran, and they forgot it. Not that it was abrogated. Not that Muhammad said, yeah, don't worry about that anymore. No, the hearts were hardened, reciting it for a long time, which caused their hardening of the hearts, and they forgot it. Okay. So accept the portion, and even the portion that he remembers doesn't exist in any of the Qurans today. Doesn't exist in nothing that we have.
Allahu Akbar.
Brother, I'll let you, obviously you're engaging. I want to ask him something, if you don't mind. You guys can carry on. So when Allah says that he has perfected this religion, we have the verse, and it is al-Islam, and it doesn't leave anything out. And you know, the Quran is fully complete. When Allah is making the statement that there is no doubt in the Quran is fully complete, whether you have it.
Can you turn the comments back on, man?
No, they go crazy on the comments, man. No, so
they're blaspheming, Avery. They're blaspheming.
Yeah. So okay. Logic. Whether you have these verses or not, is our religion complete or not complete? Is there any?
No, your religion is not complete.
He's obviously going to say no.
This is the point. Even you said it. You want me to get my red book and read what you said? You even said it.
We are building. No, I gave you because you don't have to.
Let me say it.
No. Even
you said that the compiled Quran is missing revelation.
No. I said I didn't say
it. Excuse me, guys. Akhijundullah, we talked about this, brother. Please.
Yeah.
Let the brothers talk, and then let our champion demolish logic one more time, please. Stay out of it, brother.
It's they can carry on.
If you don't mind, I would like to respond real fast while everybody's
please,
while everybody's heard what he said, so everybody can be tracking when I respond. If you don't mind, brother, better call off it. So everybody's heard it here. You heard it here first at the host live, man. Shout out to the host for hosting this live, where we heard it out of the horse's mouth. What he's extrapolating from this hadith. This is a personal interpretation. This is what he's reading, this hadith. He said it out of his own mouth. I don't have to strive. He said what I am extrapolating from this hadith, and that's fine, Logic. You can read whatever you want and come to the conclusion that a Martian came and beamed it out of everybody's brain. If that's what you extrapolate from the hadith, that's fine. The person who has no qualifications in this science is coming and giving us a shar. I know you don't know what a shar is. He's giving us an explanation and breakdown of what this hadith is saying. That within itself is ridiculous. But I'll keep it respectful. He's come and he's told us that this is what he gathers from the hadith, but he has not answered the valid and most crucial question, because he's just conceded his argument again. He said that everybody would have forgotten this argument by the time of Basra, which is during the reign of Umar, radiallahu anhu. But I asked him and told him the Quran was compiled during the time of Abu Bakr. So if he's saying that by the time of the reign of Uthman, everybody's forgotten, what does that have to do with the Quran being compiled years before that? So the Quran was compiled and complete years before the reign or years before this event in Basra, the Quran had already been compiled. And they used this compilation for Uthman's Codex even after that time. So he unknowingly, unwittingly conceded the argument again. Because when we make him deal with the facts, we make him deal with the logic, ironically, the logic of the situation. He's come and he was honest with us, and may Allah give him guidance. He was honest with us and said, okay, by the time of this event in Basra, by that time, everybody's forgotten. But years before that, the Quran was already compiled. Allahu Akbar. So we're not in need of the Orientalists or the apologists to come and give us his personal interpretation of the hadith. This is a whole science that people go to school and study. And even he has walked himself down by admitting that by the time of Basra, they would have forgotten the hadith, but it was compiled during the time of Abu Bakr. And I'll land with this because he buried himself one more time. He says that there's a portion that even Abu Musa remembers, but yet it's not in the Quran. Allahu Akbar. If it was supposed to be in the Quran, then why is the verse that he remembers not in the Quran? This means that it was abrogated, and even the parts of it that are remembered are not in the Quran. Why? Because they're not supposed to be. And alhamdulillah for Islam. La ilaha illallah.
After Muhammad, man.
Yo, I think Abu
we have nothing else to really cover.
Yeah, I think Abu
we've been on this for a long time, and I think today we're kind of completed.
Designer way. Avery, I think Abu Nuri has done you dirty, man. You got to accept you're well defeated, Avery. But look, it's a good discussion.
Yeah.
And Abu Nuri, may Allah bless you. Yeah. May Allah give you more
Abu
guidance.
Nuri just proved the Quran is corruption.
Wait, Avery, let me. I've been quiet for a while listening to your wonderful discussion. Abu Nuri, may Allah bless you. May Allah may Allah help many Muslims to be knowledgeable through you and other Muslims who are knowledgeable. And you know what? Do us a favor. I think tomorrow on the 8th, you're going to debate Avery. Cook him badly for us again, yeah? Avery, you're my friend.
This is real fast. Everybody, the debate between me and him is going to be on the 9th on Saturday at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 1 o'clock Central Time. The topic will be, are there multiple gods in the Bible? All of the Muslims, please come, bring your popcorn, prop your feet up, because it's going to be long faces for the Christians, and it's going to be a lot of laughing and pointing from the Muslims.
Put your belt in the air. Put your belt in the air, belt boys. Spanking them.
Avery.
I told you, AJ Jr. I told you, boy.
Creed.
I told you, boy.
Just a PR test, man. Just help. Do not change y'all's name from Belt Boys, man.
I told you, boy.
Please change your name from Belt Boys.
Avery,
I told you, boy.